Mobile Streams is an AIM-quoted mobile content and data intelligence company. Now, just recently, it signed a one-year exclusive commercial partnership with Bitso for sporting non-fungible tokens. Bitso is a financial services company powered by crypto in Latin America. To find out about the benefits of this deal, I'm delighted to be joined by Mobile Streams Chief Executive Mark Epstein. So, Mark, is this latest deal an endorsement for the company, the fact that a financial services company is interested in what you offer?
Well, look, first of all, great to speak to you again, Sarah, and really happy to be here. In answer to your question, well, look, we were already doing really well with the national team and with Pumas and with big brands, but of course this takes us to another level because you're talking about, quite simply, the leading financial services institution powered by crypto in Latin America. In Mexico, they're the undisputed #1 with 95% of all Mexican crypto wallets. So, for us, who's core market in Mexico, if you want to get in front of customers, if you want to get in front of people when they're in market using crypto, then obviously the deal with Bitso is a complete game changer. They're an incredible company. They're the sort of only unicorn of Mexico. They're worth 2.2 billion. They're a powerhouse in the whole region. For them to have partnered with us, for us to have signed an exclusive deal with them in sports, which is the most profitable and lucrative area of NFTs, is incredible, really, considering we only launched the Heroes NFT brand, the Heroes NFT Club brand, late September. So in a very short space of time, we've now got ourselves, I think now we're the undisputed #1 provider of sporting NFTs in Mexico, with both the sales, licenses, reach, and with Bitso that we've got. So for us, absolute game changer. Strategically, it's very important in terms of where we want to take the business, where we want to go, how we want to grow it. To have a partner like that, to have the credibility that brings us across the entire of LatAm. So we're just super excited. The whole team's really excited. We've been working on this deal for months. I mean, it's months of work. And obviously they've looked at everything we've done. They look at our brand, they look at the social, they look at our sales, they look at our licenses, they look at our plans for the future. And for us to say they're going to sign with us and not someone like Dapper Labs who's worth 10 billion or another, someone who's worth many multiples of us, I think it just shows the value we're creating and, what we've achieved basically in a very short space of time.
And it's double regulation, I'm guessing, because Mobile Streams is a listed company and, they're financial services, so they're regulated as well. So it's, double regulation.
Yeah, and we welcome that because obviously we're already, as you say, highly regulated as a listed entity. So we have to maintain a very high standard across everything, Bitso, I think the only regulated crypto exchange, or one of the only regulated ones, and they've gone about doing it the right way. They've built an incredible business. I mean, £2.2 billion business. And so the combination together is extremely powerful. It's extremely attractive to major brands because major athletes and major sporting brands want to work with companies that are regulated. They want to work with companies that are going to do things the right way. They want to work with businesses that are going to add positive value in all areas, not just commercially to their brand. And they're not just going to sort of have some sort of issue with them later on. And by working with us as a listed company, and by working with Bitso, who are the most credible of all crypto exchanges and crypto-based financial services institutions, they get that comfort and they get that knowledge that they're working with, the sort of best in class in terms of regulation, I think. So I think in our ability to talk to new sports clubs, new athletes, when we're in those discussions, when we're talking about new deals, not only does the reach give us advantage, but the regulatory side gives us advantage. I mean, it's like, we've now got we've got exclusive access to all the shelf space, if you like. So it's like we signed a deal with Tesco and Sainsbury's combined for our products. And we're now just going to create some amazing things for the consumers, for the brands. I mean, the products we're going to create are going to be spectacular. They've got a really talented team of people. They know sports really well a bit. So they do PSG, Fan Token, they do Tigres, they know the sports market. We've got incredible products which haven't even been released yet. We've got gaming NFTs, we've got clothing NFTs, we've got ticketing, experience NFTs, trading card NFTs. So when we put our toy box together with the Bitso platform and their talent and the ability to promote to people using crypto, it's a really exciting proposition, I think. And
Yeah,
it's going to be quite exciting going forwards.
That's great. I'm going to have to rein you in a little bit because I've got lots more questions to ask you. But this deal
just
is
excited about the deal. It's been months working on it, so when we get the chance to talk about it, people sometimes sound too enthusiastic. But then I think if you're not enthusiastic about your own business, what's the point? Just go home and go and do something else. Go in the garden and do some gardening or something.
Right. Well, I'm not going home yet, but I do want to get into the garden eventually. But let's talk about the length of this deal. It's taken you months to get there. It's a 1-year exclusive contract. What after that? Does it allow either party to break away, or does this provide you with a gateway in 12 months' time to maybe work with other financial services companies?
Or maybe it provides a gateway to have a closer and even better relationship with Bitso. Maybe it provides a path to that. I mean, I don't want to get into speculation, but clearly there could be many options available to us both during the contract and at the end of it. But I'd envisage us growing a great and ever closer relationship with Bitso, who we already have a tremendous working relationship with. And this deal was signed. We've met the CEO, we've met all the top people. This has taken months, and we've already forged. Funnily enough, we've already forged a really good relationship before the contract's even started, just by the amount of discussions we've had and the amount of time we've all spent together. So I'd envisage a ever closer relationship between the two companies.
So they obviously did due diligence on the biggest deal in the company's 20-year history. You and I last spoke when you became
in our history, not theirs, obviously.
Yeah, of yours. You became the exclusive global producer and provider of NFTs for Pumas Football Club. For those who don't know what Pumas is, one of the big 4 football clubs in Mexico. At the time, you said more deals would come on the back of that Pumas deal. Have they come as quickly as you anticipated?
Broadly, yes. I mean, we've got Pumas, Necaxa, Atlanta, Gabi Lopez. We've got EFC in Africa, the Extreme Fight Championship. We've got Cadiz in Spain, and there's other things being worked on that obviously I can't announce. So they have come, but we have to get strategically. What's important is to get the strategy right, and getting something like Bitso in place. I mean, I'll be honest, I thought it was probably going to be done a little bit sooner than it was, but these deals take a long time. We're not. It's a £2.2 billion company. We're not the main, player in it. They're much bigger than us, obviously. But broadly, you have to get the foundations in first. So we've taken on a whole cohort and tranche of licenses, and we've done that very effectively. We've sold hundreds of thousands of product in terms of dollar sales. We've proved our worth, and we've proved it to the extent that we can now massively expand our reach and our shelf space, if you like, and our ability to sell and our awareness by signing a deal with a company like Bitso. That then gives us sort of like base camp level 2. And now we can go out and sort of, in our discussions with other athletes and clubs, now be in a position of much more strength and get even greater value and deliver even, better awareness. And now we talk to them with a Bitso partnership. So we've basically increased our weaponry and our armory in terms of sales, in terms of our marketing platform, in terms of our ability to drive awareness. And now we are, I think, the #1 sports NFT company anyway, for sure, in Mexico. Let's go and push forward even more. So yeah, it's about doing things in the right stage, in the right order. We've been really careful with our cash as well. I think our cash position is currently ahead of forecast, and we're always mindful of that as well, to do things in the right order and amplification. And we don't just burn through our cash sort of really quickly and stuff like that. And so, we're really pleased with where we're at. We're pleased with what we've achieved in the time period we have, which is, really short. As I say, we only launched late September, this brand. Onwards, basically, now.
So let's talk about cash, because again, the figure that I extrapolated, it's quite an old one. Monthly revenue was exceeding $150,000 per month across all channels. This was March of last year. Is it still that now?
Well, that's dramatically increased since then. And obviously, I've got to be careful what I say, because we release our latest figures to the market. But our previously announced our Q4 revenue for last year, totaled $645,000. That was a 243% increase year on year. We've seen, massive increase, obviously, therefore, in our sales and in our revenue. I've got to be really careful what I say, because I can't sort of say in an interview, but again, we're in our cash position, we're ahead of forecast, and that's sort of all I'll say.
So you talked about reaching, base level 2, base camp 2, you're talking about strengthening your position. I wonder if that includes further acquisitions. You acquired Crunch Data in March of last year. You were doing a lot in March of last year. So how's that?
Always doing a lot, yeah.
How's the integration? Is it adding to the company what you hoped it would, and any further acquisitions being considered?
I mean, it's bringing a lot of value. So Crunch powers all of our marketing, all of the content that we do, automates it. Crunch also integrates into a lot of the stuff we do with IGS and the contract there. So Crunch has done really well for us. Its services have brought in a lot of revenue, directly and indirectly, because it powers lots of stuff we do with IGS. It powers all of our marketing. In terms of other acquisitions, wait and see. I'm not going to say anything. People probably wouldn't have thought we'd be able to do a deal like Bitso, because it's so almost ridiculously punching above our weight in terms of, only in terms of our market cap. If we were a private company, people always say, oh, he always says if it's a private company, but it's just a fact. If you look at any comparable deal, I'll talk about our software platform, but even companies that just have a platform, software platform like ours, are worth 40 million, in excess of tens of millions. And in terms of our market, our value, we've punched well above our weight. But in terms of our brand, I think I've always thought we could do a deal on the level of Bitso, but I think no one probably thought, looking at us, we could pull that off. And we're not trying to do anything small, but let's see what happens in the future. But we're always looking at how can we create value, how can we bring more revenue into the business, how can we do things that are going to multiple X us in terms of revenue and in terms of value. And try and do our best to give value to shareholders. Tough market, but we're always looking at growth, how we can grow revenue, how we can grow the business. We get a lot of opportunity. Not all of it is right. We obviously don't take it all, but we're always working on different things. I mean, Bitso took months to come in, as an example.
I'm smiling because you are busy about this Bitso deal, but listen, investors have a lot to worry about. They've got more to worry about than normal. They worry universally across all sectors about profit, about fundraisers. What would you say about those concerns?
I mean, look, it's a tough market. And obviously, I've got to be very careful what I say, because we're a quoted company. So currently our cash is ahead of forecast. And we've just signed the biggest deal we could probably ever sign in our market up until this point. So this now takes us to the next stage. And obviously Q4 was a massive revenue increase. We've launched a lot of product in Q1 and Q2. Everyone will be aware of that, just looking on our website. And we've totally transformed the software platform. I mean, we've sort of detected NFTs in a way. So if you go to our site, you can buy an NFT in around 10 seconds using Apple Pay. So you don't even need crypto. So you just go on it, get Apple Pay or Google Pay or PayPal, it creates its own wallet, the NFT is delivered to you automatically. Some sell for like $10, et cetera, et cetera. So we've invested in the platform, we're growing, and that's that, and so far so good, basically. We just signed the biggest deal we've ever signed. I'm
delighted for you. NFTs, though, is the pace of growth in NFTs keeping up with the pace of growth in mobile streams?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the NFT market is enormous. It's, you look at Dapper Labs or Socios, these companies are worth billions. They're still worth billions. The NFT market's here to stay. We just even did a couple of months ago some Formula One ticketing for the Miami Grand Prix. The NFT market in general, all clubs, all athletes are looking to do NFT projects at the moment. And the market, in terms of the types of NFTs you do, is only going to grow into the future. There's an awful lot of investment going in around that. There's a lot of deal flow in the NFT market. If anyone does any research on it, they'll just see it for themselves. So in terms of both the size of the market, participation in the market, customer experience in the market, and deal flow in the market, about in value, there's an awful lot going on. So people can certainly research it all for themselves, and they'll see it for themselves.
Mark, it's a pleasure, and I can sense the joy about the Bitso deal. Thank you very much for sharing it with my audience today. Mark Epstein, Mobile Streams. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.